What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the live stream. It is Friday. Happy Friday out there to everyone. Hopefully you had a great week and you're looking forward to a nice relaxing weekend, or maybe a nice weekend filled with work. I don't know, whatever it is that you're up to. Hopefully it's going to be great. And like I said, welcome back to the channel. And this is what is this? This is a series where we're trying to figure out how the hell we're going to build a company that is worth $1 million. Well, maybe not worth $1 million, but is generating $1 million in revenue every single year. Well, I guess if that were the case, then the company would probably be worth, I don't know what, 2, 5x, 10x, depending on the industry. So we'd be worth well over that. It's interesting to think about what our company would be worth right now. Anyways, all that being said, so the past couple days were a little bit tough, and I think they're probably going to be a little bit tough and rough over the next week or so, in terms of me really trying to figure out just what the hell it is that I want to do. I know I've done other streams and I've had some thoughts and discussions on this and thought I had figured it out, but I think coming back now that I didn't quite have it as figured out as I thought I did. And basically, we're really trying to figure out, a couple different things. Number one, we're trying to figure out what exactly Pixel is going to be and what it should be, if anything. And then I'm also trying to wrap my head around what I want and what I want to do and what I believe will bring me the most fulfillment, purpose, happiness, all that stuff, like in my life. And thankfully, obviously, I've been working really hard to get to the point where I have a little bit of breathing room and some time to figure out exactly what that is. And I think it's going to take a lot more than a few streams that I've done to kind of figure that out. I think I really need to take some time, do some, I don't want to get too cheesy, soul searching. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but I think I need to take that time to look deep down inside and figure out maybe what is the best path for me. And maybe I'll probably just even rewatch some of the old streams that I did talking about this. Going back over my notes and all the things that I've like drawn out and laid out, and see if I can kind of find find some common threads, I guess. And all that being said, because I don't quite know exactly the direction I want to take Pixel in, but that doesn't mean I don't think necessarily that I can't still start thinking about this live stream and how we can better this live stream. And because I think for the longest time for me, being unknown in the direction that I'm going with Pixel is giving me a little bit of an unknown of what to do with this live stream. And I think I somewhat, I don't know, how should I say this? In some ways, I think I need to separate a little bit about how the live stream is operating and also about what business it is that I'm actually trying to build. So I think maybe I could be wrong in that, because the whole idea here is how to build a business that's worth, $1 million or what have you. And well, I guess it kind of should really kind of be about that business that I'm building. But there's also other things that don't necessarily have to deal with the business specifically, but it's more about what I've learned about what it takes to build a business and the things that I have learned and how I think I'm going to apply them. So let me bring up some notes, and then we'll talk about this, because I think what I just said makes no sense. And I don't think that might not be the right way to go about it, now that I'm thinking about it. So right, I'm going to share my screen, and we're just on to some music. Should we have mood of like uplifting, or should it be like dramatic and mysterious or sad because we don't know what the hell's going on? Can we I don't know if I want to listen to something that's too sad, but let's listen to some sad music. And we don't want a vocal. Nope. What is that? Oh, let's take that out. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of sad. All right. Okay. So this is the live stream, right? So we're talking and thinking about the live stream and what to do with this. Now, is that too loud? There you go. I think that might be a little bit better. Okay, so we're talking about this live stream. Now, first and foremost, I love doing this live stream. I think it's fantastic. And I don't know, even though for most of the time it's just me talking to myself, I feel like it's really good in order to, like, it has a couple functions. Number one, it helps me learn how to take my thoughts and vocalize and verbalize them. And then I also hear myself talk, and then it also helps me decide on whether what I'm thinking actually makes sense or not. So that's really good. I really like that aspect. But the thing I think that I will say that I don't like about how my live stream is going so far to date, because this is just a what is it? Like a work in progress. I'm just learning as I go here. The thing that bothers me the most is that sometimes when I'm trying to figure out what my live stream is going to cover, I feel like there's a disconnect between what I'm going to try to talk about and what I'm trying to build as a business, if that makes sense. And maybe that also has to go around the whole big narrative thing that I've been kind of dealing with over the past couple of days of like what the hell it is that I'm doing for this business. So maybe that's that lack of direction and knowing in where I want to take Pixel is having an effect into like, oh, well, what am I going to be live streaming today? Like, it should be to the point where I feel like I should just know what it is that I'm going to be live streaming, because I'm just doing what I need to do in order to build the company. So what I said earlier, and I was thinking in my mind or out loud, that I was thinking that maybe I need to disconnect what I do with the live stream to the business. But now I don't think that makes sense. I think I need to have it more connected. Like, I think I really need to know where it is that I want to go. And then if I have that clear direction, and then I could write down all the tiny little steps of what it's going to take to get there. And then the stream is documenting and going through each one of those little baby steps, millions and millions of steps to get there. So each stream is a step. And then I can break down those steps into the different, I have these themes here written down, right? Whether it's a theme of the finances, or how I'm going to market the thing, how I'm maybe going to be how I'm going to be putting together different processes in order to automate the business, or whatever the case may be. All those kinds of things I think they'll come into, they'll just become more clear. I'll get a lot more clarity when I know what the hell it is I'm doing and where I'm going. Yeah, but is there anything else that I can do though now without knowing where it is that I want to go? So let's talk a little bit about the live stream here. Let's see if we can do some real-time brainstorming. Mm. How can I say? Say goals and vision for the live stream. Okay, first, just analyze the why. Okay, so why do I want to do this? My process of building a business so that people that want to start their own business can look to my successes and failures and learn from them. With the hope that they can, increase their chances of success. Maybe that's, sure. Nothing's too stupid right now. Let's just dump things in. Okay, this music is almost too sad. This is like, okay. All right, no. Okay. Okay. Let's literally go the opposite. And let's go to hopeful. Oh my goodness, that was killing me. Okay. All right, so this is why I'm doing it. Man, Word is just like, it just updated not too long ago. Now it's all different. Change the color. Maybe a darker color. Yeah. Goals and vision. So if the goal and the why that I'm doing it is so that other people can learn from my journey and my process, then obviously I need to actually showcase the process. And if that's the case, then obviously it needs to be linked to the day-to-day. Turn this up a little bit. Need to link the stream to the data activities of building the business. Right, so that's what I need to do. So what are examples of what I can stream about? Nope. Examples of things that I can stream about. So talking about finances, working in QuickBooks, dealing with payments. I think I'll maybe just go into, well, is this helpful? I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to be helpful. We'll talk about finances. So working in QuickBooks, dealing with payments. Let's talk about dealing with payments, you know, how to get paid. Relationships with banks and credit. This is like too hopeful, too like uplifting. That's funny. Okay, I feel like it's just like overcome something and just like feel like a drone like taking off and seeing the ocean and just taking off. And okay, I need to totally, it's funny how like music can take you on so many different emotions. I love music. Okay, let's change our mood yet again. I just want to be just chill. Just chill. Not uplifting. That's going to be too much. Just, whoops, mood. Playful? Christmas morning. I don't want to... I think we did have... Yeah, lo-fi. Let's just do this. But not playful. Okay, we're just going to do that. Okay. So, of course, I would love to hear from you. So, if you're watching, let me know what you'd like to see in on this live stream. What you think would be very interesting or educational or whatever in this whole process of how to start a business and running a business. So day-to-day operations. Does it make sense to, well, I think it doesn't hurt to go over this this little exercise, I don't think. You know, how I plan to you know, get customers, whatever the case may be. Social media marketing. Let me say something about just like the process, because what I was doing before is like getting outlines for videos. So if I'm doing videos, outlining the process for that. Writing and planning. Yeah, and I guess it does depend in some way of what I'm doing. And it could be, because I was thinking this morning, that maybe disconnecting the stream, because you can still figure out kind of how you want your stream to go, but without so much having an idea of what the theme of the stream is going to be. But now that I'm actually thinking about it, it seems to be a lot harder than I had thought. So I don't know if it's the right way to go about trying to plan out a stream, or kind of the main overall flow. Well, yeah, because it's like, can you plan a show without knowing what the show is all about? I mean, I guess you can plan some things like, oh, this is technically how the show is going to go. But if you don't know the details of what the show is about, then how do you plan on what you're going to say in the show? Yeah, maybe I didn't think about that clearly enough. Yeah. Like this document, like this makes perfect sense. Like this content, I love this if Pixel is going to be like a web design creative services company. Makes perfect sense. It makes all the sense in the world. And I'd be on board this 100%. But I guess when I know, it's like if I tell myself this is it 100%, and I go in and I go to start working on this, I know I'll start sitting down and being like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to do this. Because I said it before. I mean, I know for a fact, I don't want to, even if it was going to make me millions of dollars, like sitting down and just building websites, like myself personally, is not the direction that I want to go. And I wouldn't want to do this for the next 10 years. I've been doing it for the past 10 years. I don't know if I want to do it for the next 10. But I do know that it's like my meal ticket in the sense that I'm really good at it. And it's what I need to do to make money right now. So it's kind of that, if I have the business where I can hire people to do this, I know I've been saying this so many times, I can hire somebody else to do it. And then I can focus on the things about running a business that I really do enjoy. Then maybe that's okay. Is that enough? Is that enough for me to be happy with the direction? I think that's where I need to be really honest with myself and try to figure that out. Is working towards building a company, even if it's a media company that I particularly might not be happy with, a good way to go? And it gets me thinking of the Simon Sinek book, Start With Why. And he talks about himself. I don't know if you know this guy. Really good guy. He's written quite a few books. He talks a lot about leadership, and his book Start With Why is all about figuring out from a company standpoint, or even from an individual standpoint, but also from like a corporate standpoint. It's like, a corporate standpoint, what do you stand for? What do you stand for as a company, or what do you stand for as an individual? What is it that you do? Like, drill down right into the core and answer the question of why. Like, I do this in order for this, right? Like I work with veterans to help them live a better life after PTSD, super, super specific or whatever. So, and it's like, once you figure out your why, then you can kind of figure out the how, like how are you going to execute on that why? So anyways, I love that guy. He's got some good stuff. I probably need to go back and reread his book. I probably read it like 2 or 3 times now already, but I think I need to read it again. Where was I going with this? Right. So he initially, on his why internally, he said that he used to run, I don't know if he started or he was working at or whatever, like running a marketing agency. And I think it was doing really well. He seems to be like a type of guy that would do really well to do marketing, considering how well he markets himself. But he wasn't happy in it. Like it wasn't giving him, it wasn't fulfilling his why, I guess. Or maybe he hadn't thought about what his why was. but he's just like, you wake up in the morning, you don't feel it, right? Even though he was running his own company. So that's where I think of that. I listen to that lesson, and I know that that's what he experienced. And I think of like, oh my goodness, what if I spend all my time working on trying to build a company that I don't feel like waking up in the morning and giving it my everything. And again, you're probably not going to feel that way every single day anyways, no matter what, even if you have the best company in the world that fits you perfectly, because you're going to have good days and bad days. But if in your gut and in your heart, you just know that more often than not, you're not going to wake up and be like, oh, I want to give this everything, then that's not a good environment to be in. Not only for like myself, but for the other people that would put their trust in me to come work for me and to try to build something, right? I need to be there. You gotta be the leader that, is going to lead the team or what the company into wherever it needs to go, right? With its why. So I gotta figure that out and think about what makes sense for me. Because there are things about working with people and doing creative stuff that I do find gets me excited. When I think about a website, I like the whole idea of, it's not the fact that they're just building a website. We're building a tool to help them communicate and reach out to their audience, right? So helping people, it kind of always goes back to this, helping people reach a specific audience. So that aspect of it, that does intrigue me. So if there's a way that I can turn that around into something like that, maybe that would make the most sense. But I have to be careful too, because even if I could think of a service-based industry or niche that I can go in that I think would make me happy, maybe I'm still going to have conflict because it's not going to be something that is going to be scalable for me long term. Like something that I could not walk away from, but something that can just make money with, the maximum return on minimal investment in terms of my time, right? Like what a product can do. If you write a novel and you write Harry Potter and you just sell like a billion books, and then you never have to work again, kind of thing, right? So that's a lot different than working really hard with a client. Client pays you money, good money, of course, but then you got to find the next client, and then the next, and the next, and then you got to keep going. So the sad thing is for me, which is why I think I would definitely recommend for anybody who even thinks remotely of having the gene or the thought of wanting to work for themselves, to go for it as early as possible. Like if I would have stuck to this when I was first learning how to design and build websites, when I was super, super, super passionate, enthusiastic, and all that kind of, and young. That's another thing too. I didn't sit down and have like crazy back pain and all this kind of crap I'm dealing with. If I was back then and I put forth the effort to really trying to build a web design company, and of course this was back in like 2005, would have blown up. I can't say I would have blown up, but it would have been, who knows where I could be, because I had the motivation and the drive. And I've had that motivation and drive, but it's kept me to just getting job after job, like a better job, but always kind of around the same kind of space, right? Of web design or what have you, and creativity and, data management, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of just jumping around all kinds of things, but I never really focused on building that with the passion that I had at the time. And now that I've been doing it for almost 20 years or however long it's been now, the passion's not quite there. It's like, oh, okay, well, I've kind of done that and I don't really want to do it anymore. Is that a normal thing, a good thing? I don't know. But it just kind of is. So that passion is just not quite there as it used to be. So what do you do with that? So do I still do it? Of course I still do it. I mean, it's bringing in me money right now, so I have no problems doing it. But without that really gung-ho passion of like, yes, let's go every day, every morning. I'm going to build the best website ever, blah, blah, blah. It's not quite there, but maybe it needs to be there. And I could bring it back in another aspect where I don't necessarily do the work, but I do the planning and the strategizing and all that kind of stuff that I still enjoy doing. And then you just offload that off to, to the team, right? So that's the other part to it. So I need to think about that. So I think, oh my goodness, I think this weekend I need to think about things. And I think while I'm thinking about everything, the podcast is still going to be a thing. So maybe we'll slide into the podcast stuff on Monday until I have some more concrete things that I can think about instead of me just rambling off here into the ether, onto the internet. But who knows? Maybe in 20 years, after I've built, 5 companies and have sold them for $1 billion, maybe this will be actually really useful. Even though it doesn't feel that way right now. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Because the podcast is happening one way or the other, because just the idea of talking to people, is super exciting. And I feel like my excitement about podcasts and talking to people is like just as high as it was back in the day when I was first learning that I could actually be creative, with computers, because by then I hated computers. So it's kind of at that level now. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Very different, very short again today. But I will leave it there, and I'll thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you for listening to this. And is it helpful? I don't know. I don't know. I even though I come up with 0 solutions, I still feel better. So just getting it out there. I feel like at least I'm maybe taking one step. Hopefully it's somewhere in the vicinity of the right direction. But we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.